in the political space, windows of opportunity open and shut very quickly. So it is very important that before the climate changes, we had to get enough speed and scale to make it irreversible. So we designed it to be very lightweight, very minimalistic, with rapid rollout capabilities, with an architecture and business model that is highly scalable. And when I stepped down after 4.5 years, we had issued 600 million people an ID. And fortunately, the government change happened, but the new government has also supported the program, and it's crossed about 800 million IDs, and it should be 1 billion IDs by December. So it's built to scale up. Also, we decided to build this in a way that we used new actors. The historical model in government to do a large project is you create a huge organization, you hire a lot of people, and then you spend a lot of money on buying stuff and all that. And we said, no, there's a different way to do this. So we came up with a business model where entrepreneurs invested in the technology. And because they invest in technology, they had an economic incentive to use it efficiently and effectively to get rapid scale. And we paid them only on successful outcomes. So we went from a CapEx model to an OpEx model. It was essentially a transaction-based model. So today, the government spends just a little over $1 per person to give these IDs. And so the project has spent less than $1 billion for 800 million people, no, maybe a little over $1 billion. And we also looked at the internet and GPS, which were designed to be platforms of innovation. They were not designed to be, but they became platforms of innovation. And there's a reason for that, because of the way they were architected. So you had networks, and then you had the World Wide Web, and you had the browser, and then you had eBay. So all these things happened. So we designed this not to be for one application only, but a platform for applications. So it's used for financial inclusion, subsidy reforms, attendance systems, you name it. It's got a whole, and we think in the coming year, the private sector innovation will be actually even bigger than the government use of this platform. So I think a lot of the lessons have been echoed. I mean, we brought in new actors, we brought in the private guys, we built a new business model. Even the technology was repurposed, like you talked about, Sally talked about, historically, the problem was, how do you give a unique number to 1 billion people? So that was the problem, right? So we said the only way you can crack this problem is by using biometrics. Now, in the West, biometrics has different connotation. It's either in forensics, the Perry Mason novel, the fingerprint on the glass to find the murderer and all that. Or after 9/11, it's been used for security. So when a non-American lands at JFK Airport, he gives his fingerprints or iris or whatever to see whether he's a terrorist or not. So that has been the historical use of biometric technology. We flipped it around and said, can we use this to establish uniqueness across 1 billion people? And now we think we have about 99.9% accuracy on that. So, if Barry goes again to enroll, he won't get a number, because we know that he already has a number. So that again is repurposing technology to a different purpose. So I think there's been a whole host of these things, and I'm confident that thinking of, this is actually a way for governments to design public platforms, because governments have to build the platforms, and innovators have to build apps on the platforms. But getting that architecture right is very strategic.